Alright guys, so I'm going to stipple this riser. This is a pretty cool riser here. Got the mesquite cap and then a myrtle burl grip here. And then I put mammoth tooth on the thumb grip, mammoth molar I guess it would be. And then mammoth molar here on the belly side of the riser. And so now I'm going to stipple this, and unfortunately myrtle burl is one of the hardest woods to stipple because this has been stabilized and cast. So this has been stabilized in a vacuum chamber and then cast with black resin in the pressure chamber. But when it goes through that process, it gets soft and hard places in it. So when you're going through, when you're stippling it, and you're going through with your stylo, I use a stylo here, a Dremel stylo. When you're going through, you'll hit a hard spot and then it'll want to burn on you. So you got to be real careful with that. It takes extremely careful touch to stipple myrtle burl, because sometimes your bit will just all of a sudden just dig way in when you hit a soft spot, or you'll hit a hard spot and then it'll burn. So you really don't want burn. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go with a fairly light touch, and then I can go back and I can hit the spots that I burned with the very tip, because the tip of this doesn't tend to burn. This here, the tip's not spinning quite as fast. I tried it with a bunch of different speeds. I messed with it for quite a while. But this here, right, when it's on the side, it's going really fast. So that tends to build heat quicker, but I can go back and hit those spots that burned with the tip, and it'll clean out that burn area for the most part. Now this mesquite is a breeze. This stipples beautifully. This Texas mesquite wood here. So that's a piece of cake. So about half is myrtle burl and half is mesquite. I've got a pattern drawn on here. I'm not gonna do this because the different sections of stipple and then not stipple actually gives you quite a bit of grip, and it looks cool. So we're going to get started here. I've started a little bit here. You can see I went around here, around there. I always start with my outline first, get my parameters, and then I move into stipple in the field. Other thing, some of these woods you cannot see your progress very good. Myrtle is kind of one of those woods because it's sort of hard. So that one's burning really bad. And the funny thing is, right next to it is a soft spot. You can kind of see that darker. That darker is hard. This light, creamy stuff, that's soft. So I'm into a little spot of hard there. But I'll leave that. Go to the next one. There, we're into soft again. Another hard spot. So now I can come back here, and I left those. So some of these, they're not going to come out no matter what you do. It won't look bad. But what we do is we try for perfection. What we get is really good. We're constantly trying for perfection. When I start, I'm always slow. And once I get the hang of the particular species and grain pattern of the riser that I'm working on, then I'll speed up quite a bit. But now I'm just kind of getting the feel for it. When I was learning how to stipple, I used to try to get each dot exactly centered between the two previous ones. I learned pretty quick that ain't gonna happen. It's just not possible because of the randomness of the freehand. So now I just try to get them evenly spaced. I stressed out so bad the first risers that I did, because I just couldn't get those dots exactly where I wanted them to, and got to where I absolutely hated doing it because it frustrated me so badly. Key is, when you come up to an edge, you have to start thinking about it before you get there, and either make your dots a little bigger or a little smaller as you approach the edge of the border so that it lines up. So when I was coming up to here, I started making them just a little smaller so that one dot perfectly went up against the edge of that border. So that's another important thing when you're stippling, and you've got to be consciously thinking about that stuff. So it's not a thing where you can just relax and just go wild. You got to think it through the whole time when you're stippling. Like, go down here on this mesquite here. That stuff is just beautiful. Stable. So there's the mesquite outline, and that's perfect. That looks awesome. That's what I want. It's so much easier than the myrtle. What I'm going to have to do here, because I had so much trouble with it burning. Are you filming?
Yeah.
So we stopped filming this for like 10 days because I thought my bits were just really dull because it was burning so bad. So I ordered some new bits, and those bits still burn, brand spanking new ones. And what I finally get, it cut this perfect. My old bits. I mean, it's just gorgeous. This myrtle is just, it builds heat so fast. So right in here, I had burned a bunch of these stipple holes. So what I ended up doing is turning my Dremel way down to 5,000 RPM and getting that burn out of there. But in doing so, I messed around with the pattern a little bit, which it'll be okay. I'll tell you how I'm going to fix that. Is once I have, this is perfect. I don't have to do anything here. But this here, because of the burning issue, I'm going to have to run my Dremel slower or run it at the same speed and then go back at 5,000 RPM and take out the burn parts. Okay, so but when you do that, you mush your pattern just a little bit. So the way to fix that then is you come back in and you lightly sand over the top of this stipple. And what that does is that creates more flat space. And then you can go back in and the holes that the sanding has made too small, you know, you just deepen those and you can clean up your pattern and make it look perfect again. So even if you mess up when you're stippling, there's a way to go back in and fix it. So it's not the end of the world. When I first started stippling, I did not know that. So I would stipple it, and then however it turned out, I just left it, and it didn't, some of the patterns weren't great. Now that I know that, I can make them nearly perfect, every one of them. Now this here is perfect right now. I mean, it's a beautiful pattern, but it's not burning on me. So here we go, we're going to try this. I'm at 5,000 RPMs right now. What I'm going to do is kick it up to about 15 and see if it burns at 15. If I can get by with it not burning at 15, then I don't have to go back. So that looks good. But the thing about this myrtle is it's just certain areas of the grain that burn. Not necessarily your speed that is going to absolutely determine where you burn. One place at 30,000 RPM is just beautiful, and the next place is just burns black instantly. A little bit of a difficult wood to stipple, to be honest with you. Now at 15, it is just perfect. So what I'm going to do is experiment just a little bit. I know right up in here, you can tell there's a little bit of curl in the burl here. That stuff always burns more. So I'm going to try it at 15 here. If it doesn't burn here, it's not going to burn. Yeah. See, it's starting to burn immediately at 15,000, which I knew it would. So, but it's not too bad. I can live with that. That amount of burn looks like grain. I just don't want it to look like it's a, see, now there I pressed a little harder, instantly it turned black. And that's only at 15,000 RPM. So what I can do, all right, so watch this. Turn this back down. 5,000, and you could see that dot right there. It burned at 15,000. So let's see if we, and it's not very deep, so at 5,000, so pretty much, yeah, I took it out. So that's just what we're going to have to do. I'm just going to have to, I'm not going to crank it up all the way. I'm just going to go up to 15, do the whole thing, go back in at 5, take out the burns. This is with these bits are from Fox. The brand is Fox Germany, and I don't know. There may be some bowyers that have had good luck finding rotary burrs, ball burrs for their Dremels. I have shopped for years, and I've had, I don't know how many burrs. I mean, how many burrs I've bought, and been very unhappy with them. The kind that I found that work the longest and stay sharp the longest are the Fox Germany brand. and that's what this is. But this is about a year old or two. But I just ordered some more, and I don't want to wait on them to get here. So we're just going to use this one and do this other method. We're just going to do them all, and then we'll do them a little bit shallow so that when we come back we have the room to clean out the burn. I'm just going to finish. I'm about done with this riser. I stopped because I thought it was a bit problem. This bow should have already been shipped to the customer, but I want it to be perfect because I put a lot of work into this particular bow, and so I didn't want those little burns in there. And I'm constantly learning. A guy never wants to just say, "Oh, it's good enough." We don't do that. If it's not good enough, we recalibrate and figure out how to make it perfect. Okay, now I've got that whole thing outlined, and that's working beautifully. I still got a little bit of burn here, but I'm going to go back in there, like I said, afterwards. So we're going to fill in this field here. I find when I'm doing anything that's custom or something, and this will probably make my customer's heart sink, but if something is stumping me and I want it to be perfect, I'll put it in a spot that I see it every day that I walk past, and I'll quit working on it. Every time I walk past it, I'll think about it, about what particular challenge I'm facing and why it's not working like I want it to. And that is very amazing how well that works. And you know, every day you feel just a little bit different about life. Not, you know, it's not, some days it's not really much, but some days you just have clearer thinking and you just think different. You walk past that and all of a sudden it hits you like a thunderbolt. Well, duh, that's what I should have been doing. And then you do that, and it works perfectly the first time. I will also say this is extremely rare for me to have this much trouble with a particular species of wood burning. Usually I stipple a riser, I don't have any issues whatsoever. I guess this is stabilized, vacuum stabilized, so you know, it's been through a lot of processes. It's been through vacuum stabilization, and that resin that's in the vacuum chamber, that stuff is hard on blades. It burns. It's not great for machining. So that's probably, I'm guessing that's a big part of it here on this particular wood, because myrtle burl pretty unstable until it's been through the vacuum chamber and the pressure chamber. But I don't have burl bows break on me, so I know that I have to continue putting it through the vigorous stabilization process. Oh, one thing I wanted to add about the customers that don't pay me what I'm worth, screw you guys. I'm serious. You need to be paying me $1,500 an hour. Ouch!
What's the video by Naughty Chocolate?
I'm giving her a lot of extra editing because I'm saying things she doesn't approve of. I will tell them, I'll tell you what I will say right now. I got a new dad joke, and I really love it. And I've used it on everybody I've talked to. What's the leading cause of dry skin? A towel.
How'd that go for you?
Not very good. I did make my own redneck joke though, and I'm pretty proud of it. Have I told you that, Nick? If you think weather stripping is an Olympic sport, you might be a redneck. I need to call Jeff Foxworthy. Tell him about that one, because I'd probably make $1 million. I'd be like, yeah, you can use it, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money.
Now picture being stuck in a shop for 10 hours every day for the past 3.5 years.
Uh-huh. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. And that's only at 15,000 RPM. Just bam, it's burning so hard. What I'm gonna do, boy, at 5,000 it does not cut though. You know what, it might. I might just have to really do something different here. You know what, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna grind that in there. The only thing I don't like about that is it's leaving grooves. But I can clean that up later at higher speed. Now I just sound like I'm at the dentist. This is better than it burning though. Installing this thing to basically nothing, but it's not burning. So I'm gonna keep doing it this way. Whoa! That's what you get whenever you're going so slow. Man, that wood is hard there. Wow. Yeah, if I was running this any faster than 5,000, we would be burning like crazy. Man, we are almost done here. I'm going to show you how I touch this up now. Whoop. That is so hard, it's like I'm grinding in hickory. Okay, so that looks pretty good. What I'm gonna do now, I know I've got some problems in here. So we're gonna lightly sand that with some 220 here. And that's gonna flatten it off so that I can go back in. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna sand off my pencil marks. Then we're gonna spray it so we can really see what we need to do. Okay. Now I'm just gonna sand this. I may have to sand it more, but we're gonna start with this. What that's gonna do is let me increase the size of the holes where I need to. It's gonna create more flat spots. Sand off all these lines. Now I'm just gonna go over this too, just lightly, not nearly as heavily, just to make it uniform. Okay. Looks like honeycomb. I got some pretty good depth on there, which is good. Okay, blow it off. Let me go get some spray finish. Alright. We're we're gonna see what happens here. I don't want to fill those dots up that much. I just got to give myself some delineation lines here so I can see what I'm doing. And this is lacquer based, which is what I put on these bows anyway. So it's gonna work perfectly when I go back with it. Honestly, it looks pretty great without even touching it up.